Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve ceal li vesira min ehli. Harun ahi üştüd bihi ezri ve eşriku fi emri key nusebbihake kesira ve nezkurake kesira inneke kunte bina basir. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعهم ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. We have been continuing the story of Moses. Moses got married and under the supervision of guidance of teaching of a mature, experienced man, and with his daughter, he served he kept his promise that he was going to be together with the family and help the family and also learn something from the father, because father was a very wise man, understood that this young lad needs training for the living conditions, because living conditions are not easy to learn. So because the father found out that Moses was a very good man, had an excellent purpose for his life, established the justice on the earth, So, but because he was first following the racial discrimination without realizing, and then made a terrible mistake, although unintentionally, but it was still a mistake because he, without investigating whether this person is right or wrong, because just this person, a person belonged to another race or the enemy race, according to his understanding. So he just made a very quick judgment, said this man is from the other side, it means enemy side of the race. So but that was a great lesson for us. We studied on it in an extensive way, so that we should not pass judgment quickly because of somebody's identity, like belonging to a certain race, belonging to a certain class or caste system, especially for those people who are from the subcontinent, sub-Asia, South Asia. So caste system inherited from Hindu tradition, and that's still alive. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. 1,300 years of history of Islamic teaching, still some people keep this. I understand Hindus because their virtues, their values are different, but Muslims, still, they don't want to get married with a person from their daughter, their son, whatever, from another caste. Come on. I mean, 1,300 years of training is not enough, but human beings. We are human beings. We have to understand. Rather than blaming them, we should warn them and teach them, educate them, especially this racial, even religious discrimination because of the identity. I understand believers and non-believers are treated differently according to Islamic law, Sharia, but it doesn't mean that Sharia allows even the unbelievers to be treated unjustly. No, their rights are preserved as a human being. within the Islamic Sharia, the rights of human rights are preserved. But in the eye of God and in the eye of Sharia, their position in the social life is different. In the eye of God, God knows it. Leave it to God. But as far as the social life conditions are concerned, if a person doesn't believe in Islam, Islam says, okay, be peaceful, follow the common rules of Muslim way of life, Islamic way of life, but preserve your own belief for yourself. Have your church and synagogue, whatever it is, freely in the Muslim land. But, for example, you cannot go out drunk. You cannot steal. The Muslims also are not allowed to go out drunk, but Muslims are prohibited from drinking alcohol, not the Jews, not the Christians, according to the Islam, according to Islamic jurisprudence. So follow different rules. Yeah, you cannot say anything to anyone, whatever he is doing in his house, but publicly they have to respect, all of the people respect the public dignity. This is a Muslim country. We have to have Islamic values prevalent in the society. Muslim country means believers country, by the way, not today's Muslim administration. There is no Muslim administration in the world, Islamic administration in the world, but people are Muslim. We respect them and we are happy with them. Anyways, Lord, let me do this first. Okay. Now, after completing 8 years, we are not told anything. What happened during the 8 years? But we will see the result explained in this verse now that we are going to start today, how he was really prepared for life as well as prepared within his own spiritual maturity. So he said, okay, I am feeling well to go and live on my life. Not be dependent always to an instructorship of an old man. I have to experience what I have learned within my own individual life. So although, because we studied on Monday, actually, last Monday, the conciseness is always followed in the stories of the Prophet and in the Quran altogether. It's a rhetoric, means of rhetoric, tools. So conciseness is very important for the Quran, not to say any word, not only any sentence, which is superfluous. So here, I'm going to tell you the new station of the spiritual station of Moses. You will understand what might have happened during the last 8 years. That is your interpretation. Now, don't make up, keep it for yourself. And every interpretation is individual interpretation pertaining to the person. So you cannot say God meant this, but you can, according to me, I think what you have learned so much so that at the end he became a man, as it is told here in the verse 29, chapter Qasas, verse 29. So once Moses has fulfilled the term, skipped what happened there, and says, yes, when he fulfilled the term and was traveling with his family. Now he left. this family life, but he took his own family now. He caught sight of a fire. Oh, on the way, a fire attracted his attention. There is a fire. Let's imagine his life. Now, physically, we can understand that it's a desert, and fire is very important. And the desert at night is very cold. In the daytime, it's hot. That is why it is desert. This climate turns the geographical area into a desert. So very hot daytime, very cold nighttime. So he is now seeing the light. What does it mean? If someone doesn't feel, for example, if you are living like me, most of you either living in New York or somewhere in a city, or everywhere is lit, well, enlightened with the night lamps in the street, in the house. So if there is a fire somewhere there, not the fire that burning the house, no, but aside, somebody is burning a fire somewhere there. Would the fire really attract your attention? You would say, there's a fire, and go ahead. I mean, somebody is maybe making a barbecue or something. So you go ahead. But if you feel the need for fire, it really attracts your attention. That is what we understand, that Moses was looking for something to solve his problem. Physical problem is cold and darkness. But I think Quran is not going to tell us, our Creator is not going to tell us, when you are cold, when you are in dark area, in darkness, you look for a fire. Everybody does it. You don't have to need God's guidance to tell you this. It is obvious, isn't it? That's what we studied heavily last 2 weeks on Mondays. Why Quran uses all rhetorical devices for this purpose. So he is not definitely seeing a fire and I am cold now. Let me get some fire and then burn something here as well. We can warm up and lighting our area. And we should know what we are doing and we see around. That is very human. You don't need God's guidance for this. But since it is told by my Creator to me, I would understand, I must understand that if I feel the need for accomplishment of my need, fulfilling my need, I have to look for it. When you look for it, you will find it. God is promising us that He will show a fire for you. It means attract your attention and say that, there may be a solution over there. You can get it from there. Let's see what happens now. He caught sight of a fire on the side of the mountain. Okay. And said to his family, wait, I have seen a fire. Oh, it means there must be a solution for my search. What is the search now? He is looking for a guidance now. Now, he trained how to implement his conscience, his feelings, his spiritual improvement or virtues. He trained within the word conditions. His father-in-law educated him, apparently, but still his soul needs a guidance. So he's looking, that is why he started traveling in the desert to look for a guidance. Desert what? Helplessness. Total isolation from other sources. I don't know anything about reality of anything. What is going on? I must learn it. He must be burning from inside. So now this allegorical, metaphorical, whatever you call them, the teachings of the Quran is continuing now. And he said to his family, wait, I have seen a fire. I will bring you news from there. What? I will bring you news from there. بخبر. Khabar. Now, excuse me, I speak with the verse now. Which kind of khabar, which kind of news you are talking about? This is a fire, man. Get the fire. But if you read some commentators, you will get another interpretation. I respect them, but it doesn't appeal to me, so that I don't bring here. And I don't blame them. Within their own life conditions, those interpretations must be valid. None of my business. My business is I have to read the Quran to make it applicable to my real living life conditions and educate myself, train myself. That's why news means, I understand here with in the Arabic, so news is the news. In English, khabar in Arabic. So I will bring a news from it and to you, and I will bring you news from there. It means maybe I can find some solutions from the source of this fire for my search for, if you like, guidance for my soul. Now I received guidance from my father-in-law as far as the worldly life is concerned. That is needed. Yeah, I spent 8 years for it, trained and maybe developed a profession. Okay, that's what we all do. But at the same time, we need guidance. So this guidance will be a news for me. I am looking for it. Okay, I have been looking for it. And also, look, or a burning stick for you to warm yourself. And physical guidance as well. Maybe get some, a torch. Some people translated a torch, actually, the word here. So, torch so that we can burn our fire here, a sample of it, so that we can interpret it according to the needs of our living conditions. So this is how the metaphorical meaning I understood with the help of some scholars. So, but majority of the scholars don't interpret this verse as we are doing here. So if you hear something is or opposition saying that there are lots of scholars never said this kind of things, okay, listen to them, I respect them, thank you, but I want to apply this verse to my real life conditions. So that's why we have to use that. Look, let's get the news and some some pieces from it as well in order to enlighten our life, our questions, our needs, spiritual needs, as well as our worldly life needs. We will see that it is also told in the following verses that God guides us in two ways, how to utilize this word in order to satisfy or accomplish the needs of our life in this world and in the hereafter together. That's what the Quran's guidance is all about. Quran gives guidance to the spirit. Quran gives guidance to our worldly, bodily life. Do this, don't do that. Physically, do that. Don't do that. And also, spiritual guidance is full of the Quran everywhere. So, let's go to the 30th, verse 30. If you have any questions, any hands, I don't see anyone who is really contributing to this beautiful verse. I'm very excited about the meaning of this kind of verses. So to read it inside, just to put yourself, how can I do that? It's very easy. What I think God is teaching me here. Can you say what happened? God is teaching what happened to Moses. I don't know. I'm sorry. He saw a fire. Okay, welcome. And he wanted to take some of it. Yeah, get some news from the people if there were some people there. Where is the direction to go, etc. Like a navigator or GPS. Okay, I do it. I have already my GPS in my telephone, the cell phone, and I use it anytime I need it. I don't need God to tell me. Even the atheists are more expert on the subject than me for the moment. This is irrelevant to me, to my practical life. I'm not reading the Quran in order to learn what happened in an unknown historical event, to me, unknown. So that's why I get excited when I see that these verses are full of meaning for me. And these verses are guidance for my real life conditions. So, no comment? Okay. When you have any comment, any question, any concern, please don't only raise up. Just interrupt me.
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
Yeah, so you said in Quran there's nothing excessive. Yeah, I understand that, but does that mean everything has to have a deep underlying meaning? Because when you are traveling in the cold and you see a fire, it's normal, like, oh, let's get that fire and then warm our body up. Because it feels like it's normal for that to happen, but does it mean that have to have a different underlying meaning?
Excellent question. Thank you very much. Look, what you said is excellent because, of course, if I am cold, I need fire. Yeah. But the problem is, when you are cold in the desert and dark, Do you need God to tell you that you have to get a fire? Now be careful. God is telling me that Moses with his family traveling in a desert somewhere, and he saw a fire. Why? I can say, yeah, if I travel in a place, it is dark and cold. If I see a fire, God taught me that I should get some fire from it and use it for me. There is no need for God to explain. It is already in your soul, in your consciousness, already taught. You are already taught this. You don't need God's guidance for it. That's what the main problem is this. I need God's guidance where I cannot find within my own soul, within my own feelings, and within the conditions of this universe. That's why God's speech is necessary to answer my questions, for which there is no answer my questions, for my questions, there is no answer available within the universe, including within my own spirit. That is why God says, okay, you need my guidance. Otherwise, even the atheists will say, laugh at this. Come on, look at this ridiculous Quran. Yeah, why? When I am cold in the dark in a wonderland, wilderness, whatever it is, and nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, if I see a fire, I should ask my family, stay here, so I will go and get some fire and warm up myself. Excuse me, I don't need this guidance. It is ridiculous. I know it already. Even I don't have to take a course in order to learn this. Now, I'm very pleased that this kind of questions come up. Why? Our minds are so blocked in this approach to the Quran that whatever Quran tells, that is what it is. Don't try to get around it. Yeah? But it doesn't make sense. It means God is not a God. Even, I don't know, it is a simple man tells me this, Ali, and a simple, ordinary man, let's say I know him by somehow. And he said, hi, Ali, how are you? Yeah, you know what? If you are in a dark and cold, then if you see a fire, go and get the fire and warm up yourself. I would say, thank you very much. It's a very valuable information. Please don't speak to me again. God's speech cannot be that simple, let alone an ordinary human being's speech cannot be that simple either. That is why we have to wake up. We cannot read God's word like this at all. I'm not blaming you, by the way. I am blaming the people, but will you please excuse me, like myself, taking the Quran, putting it on the screen, and start telling what it means and giving guidance to human beings from it. I blame myself and other people taking the same position as I have taken now, not teaching you innocent people, young innocent people, didn't know the value of the Quran, God's word. How can I teach you the value of the Quran? Saying that these words are miraculous. And if a person doesn't have an really innocent belief in Islam because he or she feels that we are Muslims, the Quran is a wonderful book, it is our book, and we have to respect what it says, but never studies. And it will be a teaching, my friend, if I teach only what literally it means. On Monday, I don't think you were on Monday's discussions, especially last 2 weeks, Monday discussions, why the Quran uses rhetorical devices, which kind of devices it uses, and the Quran is full of employment, practice of rhetorical devices. You can listen to them on Islam from Within website, and understand that Quran cannot be read literally except 3%, which is about rulings, laws, do's and don'ts. The rest must be interpreted. These are rhetorical teachings. You have to interpret it, and you have to learn by following this kind of teachings. My interpretation is only my interpretation, selected from the interpretations made by certain scholars. You can benefit from those scholars. You have to search for it. I'm not going to give, it is my principle, not to give the name of any scholar, name of a book, etc. That's my principle, because it turns out to be partiality, and I hate it. I want to be unanimous always, even I don't want to use my name, but what shall I do? I mean, what shall I say? Hamim is somebody uses Hamim. so it is, everybody knows it here in this room. That's why I don't feel to make the distinction. Identity is an identity. Okay, I think it is good. Don't hesitate asking these questions, please, so that we will understand where our minds are stuck, how our minds are frozen by certain types of teaching, especially in America. Nowadays, it is weakening, but before, a certain tradition which is extremely literalist invaded the American innocent young people's minds who are interested in learning the Quran. Invaded them and frozen them. They cannot really become liquid anymore. They are like stone, but essentially ice, frozen water is liquid. Please find out your reality. Open up your mind and question it. What shall I do with this verse? None of my business. Somebody was there and got the fire and warmed it up. Oh, welcome. Thank you. I know that I have my central heating or electrical heating in my room. I don't need it. Sorry. And I don't need light. Everywhere is light. In New York, is really, you cannot see the sky because everywhere is light, even at night, dark nights. Very rare, only a few stars you can see. I go out very early in the morning, so before Fajr, so I see stars there, but maybe at the most 10 stars, but it is trillions, quadrillions of stars out there. We don't see it, everyone is late, so it is irrelevant to us. We have to take it out of the Quran because it cannot be God's word. I know this. God shouldn't bother to tell me this. Anyway, this is very important. That's why I keep repeating it. Because in order to, how do you say, eradicate, uproot this literal reading of the Quran and making the Quran is a frozen, dead scripture. That scripture doesn't speak, just a body. Oh man, at least it is God's word coming from eternal knowledge, speaking to me, giving me guidance in this land in the 21st century. That is my God now creating me and giving me the guidance. I have to read it within the living conditions of my own reality. Okay. I get very excited because I feel also the pain, really. If I am not, I would cry. Pain, people are suffering from lack of benefiting from the Quran. For me as well. If I try a little bit, I get so excited. Otherwise, my life is dead. Quran is dead. Just a body. I feel that, oh, Quran is mushaf only. Quran turned into a mushaf. Papers in a volume covered beautifully. I have one. It is beautifully designed on the cover. So it's okay. Okay, it is out of the respect. I'm not saying no, there should be no design. No, this is just making the beautiful decorations on the covers and the sides of the pages, on the verges of the pages, is not enough to respect this book, this guidance. The meaning should be brought into my practical living life. Okay, I will go. Go ahead. But please, my friend who asked the question, don't feel that, oh, I shouldn't ask this. No. Excellent. If it is with you, let it go out. Say it, reveal it, so that we will know what is going on. But otherwise, we will carry on and you will keep suspecting that this man is really talking about something which has nothing to do with here. I read the verse, there's nothing to do what this man is saying. Yeah, when you read it literally, it has nothing to do with what I am saying. Correct. But it must be so. Okay, thank you. 13. But when he reached it, look, you see, it is nothing to do with fire. It is a noose. A voice called out to him. It was a beacon or beacon, I don't know. It was a, is it the right pronunciation, beacon? And the lamp on the side.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, you understand it. My pronunciation is excellent, so no one understands. So when it was a beacon calling him. Hey, come here. Look, you are looking for something. I will give you the names, because you feel desperately in need of something, because you have your consciousness which wants to establish goodness on earth, righteousness on earth, justice on earth, and also you have trained how to apply this justice and feelings by a man who gave you a physical training, examples here and there, but you are missing a dimension. What? How can you really get the guidance which will satisfy for the need of eternal need of your spirit? your soul. So a voice called out from him, the right hand side of the valley. Valley. What is valley? Tua. So it is very, very, really so that we will read that it is it is something. In the following verse, we will study that. Okay. So it says, from the side of the valley, from the tree on the blessed ground. Now, from the tree. What is that? Tree represents definitely something else. Light represents definitely something else. Not the light I know, not the tree I know. So it is the light which will now say, hey, on the blessed ground. Whoa, man, you are on the blessed ground. What does it mean? Where is it? You know, if you look at it from geographical perspective, physically, blessed ground. Oh, let me go and find this blessed ground. Now, what I understand, if you are burning for an answer to the needs, desperate needs of your spirit, for a guidance, where you are now, your body, your place is your blessed ground. You are on earth, fulfilling the purpose of your existence. Your existence, for example, your body is the ground for your soul. Your life experiences is the ground for your spirit, for your soul, your aspirations in order to satisfy your expectations, your questions, whatever you are after in life. How can I make sense of my life? How can I make sense of my environment? What are these things around me? Essentially, what is the meaning of this universe for me, this existence for me? Now you are, if you are looking for it, then you will see the news. And your position now in this physical world is a blessed ground. And in this blessed ground, the voice will say, "Oh Moses, it is me." There must be something. Yeah, you realize that to yourself. For example, I say, Ali, there must be someone who has given me existence. There must be someone who has given the universe its existence, who created the world. And I must look for him. Who can it be? What can it be? Search for it. Yeah, I know my profession. Okay, word the training Moses has accomplished, must have accomplished. That's what he left his father-in-law's house. So he says, I know now, I can make my life myself. All right, go out. All right, that is your bodily need. I understand. We need to work to develop a profession. Yeah, it is understandable. And you have to now go and practice it, but your spirit is not satisfied with it. Okay, I'm going to be an engineer, I'm going to be I don't know, auto repair mechanic, or I am going to be a doctor or whatever, I am going to be a sanitary worker, doesn't matter. No, you can do every work is okay. Doesn't matter which work is better, or depends on your intention. How are you going to utilize your work? That's what we are going to learn now in the further pieces of Moses' life experience as we are told in the Quran, not in the storybooks or history books, no, in the Quran. That is excellent. So there must be someone, there must be someone who has put me in this position, in this world, and I don't know what to do exactly. Yes, I can do, let's say I developed, I don't know, a profession. Let's put it in this term. Now I can do social worker. I am a nurse, etc. Okay, I am a nurse. I can go and work in a hospital or in a health institution and make my living. Okay, I can satisfy the needs of my body. It's all right, perfect. It is needed. Yes, your body needs to be taken. Your consciousness tells you, of course, you cannot keep your body hungry and die. That is, your consciousness keeps telling you eat and eat and eat. You don't need God to tell you, so your creator to tell you, but you need your creator to tell you something. But if only one says, whoever has created this universe and me must tell me why he has done it. This world looks wonderful, perfect. It cannot happen by itself. I cannot happen by myself accidentally. And these questions, these needs, these honest human needs cannot happen by themselves. So we have to have this question, this expectation that there must be someone who is to answer, who is going to answer my questions. Who can it be? Whoever created me, whoever gave me existence. And now he started realizing that this one must teach him. And then, yes, he says, it is me, God. God, by definition, the creator of the universe. And he describes himself. Look, the first thing, the first quality of God, which is taught to human beings, is the Lord of the worlds. The Lord of the worlds. And Allahu Rabbul Alameen. Only the Lord of the world can guide me. None of these people, they are poor people like me. So the Lord of the worlds. So that is the minimum description of God, Lord of the worlds. Now, I will jump to another verse now. Inni ene rabbuka. I am the one who is going to, Lord, the translator, no. Now, it's okay, but at the same time, it means not much. I am the one who is going to train you, train your needs that you cannot find in the world, you cannot find in your own soul, in your own feeling, you cannot find in the teachings of your father-in-law. I am the one, your trainer, educator. Rab, one of the meaning of Rab coming from is similar root word is trainer, educator. Anyway, now it is the word, we don't study the morphology of the words here. So I am the one who is going to train you. I am the one who is going to guide you, educate you. Now, first, come on. What do you mean? Take off your shoes. So what? Why should I take off my shoes? The sand is cold at night. Of course, it is not really taking off your shoes. What does shoes represent in your life? It is beautiful. I am amazed in the meaning of these verses. Come on. Shoes is the part of human beings or human tools, touches the ground, touches this world. Take off it. Take it off. It means look for something else. Now, don't misunderstand. We are going to continue, inshallah, next week. It doesn't mean that we should really forget about the verse totally. We will learn in the following phase of the story of Moses how to keep the balance. But at this stage, first we have to understand that in order to get the satisfactory answers to my spiritual needs, I have to just look for a source, not within the world, but somewhere else. Take off. It means get rid of this world as to be the source of guidance for you for a moment. But you will learn later on how you are going to utilize it. But first, you have to look for a divine source, which is the Lord, owner, sustainer, creator of the universe. Only then you can look for the guidance from the creator of the universe. If you keep looking for the guidance from the universe only, like the materialist scientists do, you can just find yourself within a vicious circle. The cause and effect, effect becomes a cause becomes an effect, effect becomes a cause produces effect, and then this effect becomes a cause. This Darlene, losing himself within the chain of causes, material causes, within the chain of natural laws, because of this law, because of this law, because of this law. What is the law? No definition. What is the nature? You mean by nature? No definition. Universe is self. What is the source of existence of the universe? Universe is self. How stupid. This is circle. This is just called in the philosophical sense, begging the question. Tautology, something like this, making meaningless sentences. So what are you going to do now? You have to take off your shoes. Look for the guidance from somewhere else, from the Lord of the universe, owner of the universe, trainer of the universe, educator of the universe, whatever you call it, establisher of the order of the universe. You have to seek guidance from him, from your creator. And you are in the sacred valley of Tua. Tua means in fact, and also looks like in English is twin. Yeah, it means that two sides at the same time. So that is why it is interesting. Some scholars say you are in the sacred valley. Why? The previous verse also said sacred, isn't it? What is said here? Yeah. Mubarakan. Mubarak. The word is used in the previous one. Here also, Muqaddas. Mubarak, blessed.
Muqaddas, sacred. Why? When you look for a guidance from the source of the universe, the creator, the Lord of the universe, your blessed ground becomes sacred now. In this sacred place, you have to take your all ties, connections, concerns from this world. It's very interesting. You are in a sacred valley of Tuwa. That's why I understand from my readings that the Tuwa means you are now in a state of existence. In a state of existence, one side, your body side, is attached to the world. So you have to get in touch with the world in order to satisfy your bodily needs. But at the same time, your spirit looks for a guidance, for a source of satisfaction. Then this spirit must look for a source of his guidance, its guidance. Now, this guidance must come from the Lord of the universe. This guidance cannot come from the universe itself alone, but after taking the guidance from the Lord of the universe, you will learn, as we are going to study next week, how after receiving the guidance from the Creator, how am I going to utilize this word? How am I going to utilize my profession in order to become two-sided man, not neglecting this word, but at the same time, never neglecting, seeking for the guidance for my spirit. Now, this is the valley of Tuwa. I love this, how do you say? I would say secret teaching. Only if you look for it, you can see it. If you say that, okay, what does it say? I am your Lord. Inni ana rabbuk. Fakhla'an alayk. Innaka bil wadi al-muqaddas tuwa. God said to Moses, I am your Lord. Yeah. Okay, God said to Moses, how about me? Oh, no, I mean, I'm not a prophet. I'm not receiving the revelation. Okay, yeah. Moses received it. Well, I'm not a prophet. Why do you tell me? Why do you bother me with this? This is the experience of the prophet. Come on, leave it to him. So, come on, take your shoes. Okay. Okay, when you go to the masjid, you take your shoes. Well, okay. Well, I take it. Is this? Do you think my God is speaking to me? Only when I'm in the masjid, I'm going to take my shoes. In order to go to masjid, I must be satisfied spiritually that I have to worship God, and I don't know God yet, without understanding this kind of verses. Why should I take my shoes? Okay. Innaka bil wadi al-muqaddas Tuwa. Where is Muqaddas Tuwa? I am in New York. I don't know this Muqaddas Valley, which is called Tuwa. I don't know. Let me search in maps if there is any place called Tuwa. So I will say this is a Muqaddas land on earth. So what shall I do? I cannot go there. Yeah, or there is no such thing in the map. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is talking about, really. A place, I don't know. None of my business, which I don't know. So it looks like not only a God's word, it looks like a nonsense speech to me. So I have to understand that, look, if this text says, I am your creator's speech, he must give me guidance for my spirit. Because my creator has created me has created me and the universe. I can see the universe and study the universe and get guidance, and I know how to feed myself. I know how to go from one place to another. I know how he heat myself. I know how I enlighten my life, light my dark nights. No, I am just making out of the, as a result of my studies, nuclear power stations, so that millions of people are benefiting from them and lightening their houses and streets. So I don't need God to tell me. Even those people who have never become aware of the Quran, they are learning how to heat their houses or themselves in the best way. They are learning how to produce electricity and light for them. Well, they don't study the Quran. They don't need it. So we have to understand that this text must have definitely something else meaning. It is impossible not to have this kind of meanings. Not only the meaning we are talking here, but this kind of meanings we have to say, everybody has to say, what does it mean for me? Do you think this verse is only to teach me that when I go to the masjid, I have to take off my shoes? This is for me? Allah God is teaching me? No, when I do the janazah prayer, the prayer which is said on the dead body of a person who lived before in this world and died now, then I keep my shoes on. And the Prophet did it. Prophet didn't take his shoes off when he's praying. Well, what's going on? Comment. No, it is impossible. It is impossible. I can't do that. So we have to really look into that, try to apply it to our real life conditions. Inshallah, what we will do next week, then so God will start to speak to Moses, asking about his stuff. What is that you are holding? Come on, tell me this. And Moses will give the answer. Oh, no, I'm just using it in order to get some leaves or something from the trees and green area for my sheep. That's a simple human life. Then what does it mean for us? Inshallah. I'm very excited about these prophetic stories. Not the story themselves. Not the story themselves. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You have any questions, any concerns, please? Or before we close the session today. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Quran is excellent. Really, really excellent. Inshallah, we will study from Taha, 20th chapter of the Quran, verse 13. From there, we will continue. I selected the verses as it goes along the Moses' life, as it grows from very young age, from the babyhood onwards, right? Until he dies. So inshallah, we will travel with Moses' story and find out ourselves in the story, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you very much for your patience. 12 minutes past. Although we started a little bit late and we justified it. Jazakallah wa iyyak, inshallah, Qadi.